Jeff Anderson hating on Twitch featuring Morph.
Now what I really want to see is you on Police 10-7 with that mask on now getting arrested.
Local man seen robbing bank with cat emoji face.
Give it time. Give it time.
All right, let's power through this.
Yeah.
I even changed around the background today. So I want to go to normal cameras.
You like pick the most whiny, like not the most whiny, but like with all the soda I just want to whine about. This is gonna be Dom ranting about gaming development.
That's what I really should just rename it as just a rant about what's wrong in the world of gaming.
Yeah,
so many things wrong. Anyway, let's start off with episode 7. I am joined by Average. How was your week, man?
Yeah, it was really good. Really, really good. Thank you.
What have we been up to?
So I've got my live space beta invite, so that was really, really good.
Yep.
So I've been playing around that, getting set up, ready to try that out and see how things go. Other than that, just been sort of plotting around and making content for TikTok and Instagram and all these other platforms out there, and just doing my thing.
All the normals.
Yeah, all the normals.
Nice. I got the live studio, live space invite as well. I mean, it's closed, nice. So there's no general viewers. The only people on there at the moment are other streamers. It is, every time I've looked, there's maybe 6 streams going at any given time, but
yeah, it is still very beta.
Yeah, it's very
Master
much
beta.
It's very, very much. I don't know. It feels weird because of the color space, I guess, just being white and pink over.
Yeah.
Everywhere else, which is dark and then another color. It just, I don't know.
It feels very different as soon as you get into that main home screen. It feels straight away very different and very alien compared to the black and green or the black and purple.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I do like the social media part of it. That everyone's got their profile and it's like a Facebook feed. Like that's pretty.
Yeah, it has its own like FYP kind of setup, which I think is really cool.
Yeah. Well, see how it goes. Once they've opened it up to general public and let more people get involved and communities, I guess, involved, not just streamers, and we'll see how it goes. But how they've got it planned so far sounds good. And probably the most beautiful man in the UK, Dom from Evil Media. How you doing, mate?
I'm all right. I'm good. Busy boy, trying to convince my clients that they don't need to sign up to yet another streaming platform. So interesting that you do mention, the latest thing from Los Angeles. But I'm good. Busy boy. Lots to talk about. Lots going on. Signed a whole load of clients this week, so excellent. It's been good. But I'm here to talk about the joys of gaming.
Oh, well, let's talk about 10 joys of gaming coming from PlayStation. PlayStation recently had an interview with GamesIndustry.biz. The studio head, Herman Holst, said there is a risk that they're willing to take and talk about a live service in generic terms. As it is a single genre or a single business model, they don't look at it like that. So PlayStation Studio is making a variety of games that could be referred to as live services, targeting different genres, different release schedules, and different scales.
Yeah, so I appreciate how overly ambitious they are, how whether or not this can be successful. As soon as they brought up Bungie, I had an idea this was probably going to be something like this.
Yeah.
They've got Haven Studios, they've got Firewalk, so they've got their FPSs, and they've also got their story-driven
Haven
elements through. Yeah, so my only issue is that they're going to do basically what our good friends with Redfall have done, is they're going to take a genre and they're just going to try and shoehorn it into a live service. I'm hoping that they're going to take Bungie and they're going to take all the experience that they've had from their successful live service games and actually produce things that people want. And funny enough, I was having a discussion with this today. In fact, the main issue we have with PlayStation is when it comes to Xbox and PlayStation, you've got PlayStation, which deliver really big, strong gaming entities. So you've got like God of War, The Last of Us, but you play them,
Spider-Man.
and then there's this, there's this lull. There's this, people consume them fairly quickly. There's not much to do in between unless you're playing things like Call of Duty, or your Gran Turismo's or FIFA's. They need a game that has that replayability, that people come back, that they have in their pocket. Otherwise, you pick up things like Game Pass to play a load of shitty indie games that you realise, are okay, and put them down, and then you're like, oh, shiny new thing from PlayStation. I'll go
big
play
one's
that.
coming,
Yeah, exactly. But to be honest, I mean, I feel like PlayStation can take their time with this at the moment because Xbox are doing everything in their power to, make you want to look at PlayStation in a new shiny light. So, I'm very, very, very excited to see what they're going to produce out of this. I love me a good live service game. The market certainly needs some more, especially in the FPS era. And I'm hoping that they are injecting large amounts of cash into Bungie to produce some very, very shiny assets. So we'll just have to wait and see.
I'm hoping out of this because they're doing different genres and different scales. So they're obviously going to put a lot of money, go full AAA on one or two. A couple are going to be smaller indies. Like, it sounds like they're willing to throw a basket at everything, really, and to see what sticks. They're not trying to build, 10 Fortnites, for example. Sims is technically a live service game as such. Like, that's, people don't think of it like that, but it is. There's lots of different games I guess they can tackle. It'll be interesting to see what they can come up with. I mean, Naughty Dog is also working on one for them set in the Last of Us universe. And I mean, they're planning to release all 10 by March 2026. So it's ambitious.
Yeah. I mean, I think we'll see things like a Stardew equivalent. I still like to see there are a lot of studios that we know about, but there are also a lot of studios that we don't, especially, and from the, Eastern gaming markets, we'll probably see more like gacha gaming, like, maybe we'll see, God, I can't remember what it's came now. What's the one, the anime style one?
Don't know, not that one.
Genshin Impact.
Yeah, Impact.
We'll see more Genshin, So we'll see things like Genshin Impact. But yeah, the ones that are, essentially The Last of Us, but in the world of, live service, those are the ones that scare me the most, because it's like, that's not what we associate, the things, those games with. And it's when you try and wrap it together, it's like when Resident Evil started doing multiplayer shooters, it's like, we don't care. We want that single player, wonderful experience. So who knows?
Well, how do you feel, Average, about some of them? Like, is there a particular style in there that scares you that they're going to try and tackle?
Not really. I mean, pretty much all of those game genres that Dom just recently mentioned, I don't tend to play any of those, or I tend to steer away from them because they just aren't to my personal taste. So I don't tend to really follow that sort of news. The news I sort of do tend to follow games that I play now, which is, as you know, Sons of the Forest or Sea of Thieves.
What if they take on Sea of Thieves? Try and do their own pirate game.
I mean, look, we've got Skull and Bones that's in the works, and that's been set back and set back and set back. And honestly, I think it's a game that's going to be shelved and eventually dumped.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, fair. But that was meant to be hitting the shelves of PlayStation.
Yeah.
Yes, Skull and Bones is just an analogy for the state of Ubisoft at the moment, I think. Actually, being anything that we're going to be sinking our teeth into.
It's a sinking ship, basically, over there at Ubisoft.
Yeah.
They're just grappling, thank God they've got their claws stuck into, Assassin's Creed to keep them afloat, basically. Hopefully Division does well. The new Division looks good, so hopefully they can pull something out with Division.
Yeah.
I think we'll have to wait and see on that one. I'm still thinking that Ubisoft is going to get bought up by someone at some point.
Well, they've thrown their money out there. They've told that multiple times. They're open to someone coming and talking to them.
Yeah.
So
who wants to buy who wants to buy Rainbow Six and Tom Clancy's Ashes?
Yeah. Do what you want with Tom Clancy, really.
Yes. But yeah, Bungie have got there's this new IP they're coming out. We don't know too much about it in the comedy space.
They do too.
Yeah, I'm hoping for some, I don't know, Destiny but Crash Bandicoot or something like that would be right up my jam, but I'll have to wait and see. But
yeah.
I mean, a remade Crash Team Racing would be nice to see.
Take on Mario Kart.
Yeah, exactly.
Mario Kart, that's possible. Some of them are over, sunny side of England. CMA says Microsoft would lose substantial money by making Call of Duty an exclusive. So out of the 400-page report released by the UK CMA, blocking the acquisition of Blizzard by Microsoft, the agency concludes that fears put forward by Sony regarding Call of Duty's exclusivity are unwarranted, and in fact, the UK regulator determines that Xbox would substantially lose money if they tried to keep Call of Duty all to itself.
Yes, I would like to publicly apologise to the world for England cock blocking this deal. I can only hang my head in shame and
look. FTC's only around the corner of doing the same.
Yeah, I'd love to have seen the actual debate and discussion on that, because I feel it would have been very similar to that of Congress. A lot of people out of touch in the gaming space, making a lot of assessments about things TikTok maybe they don't necessarily understand. Yeah, exactly. Because what it actually boiled down to, of all the fucking things, was limiting the
cloud.
Streaming space.
Yes,
cloud-based gaming, the thing that we all hold close to our bosoms as we sleep at night. Cloud gaming. So
all gamers want it.
Yes, Call of Duty Cloud is obviously the IP that we are all begging the world for at the moment. Yeah, I feel I don't know. I feel like it was I feel like it was a stretch grab.
Yep.
Whether or not this is maybe my limited understanding of the gaming business world, but I feel this, of all the things that they grabbed onto, it was limiting cloud-based gaming, and I just I don't know. I still feel like cloud-based gaming is a meme, but
yeah, it's not ready.
There we are.
No.
So anyway, yeah, they're going to fight this. Whether or not it goes through, still we will have to wait and see. But
I think I read on somewhere last week that 67% of people that 67% of claims that take it further up to fight the CMA's ruling do meet in being failed.
Yeah.
Majority of the time it is failed. We'll see. I mean, I think the FTC really are going to pivot what they're blocking now. They'll probably focus more on the cloud side service too with this to block it. But, in the report, they didn't have the numbers in there for privacy reasons. But they did do 2 theoretical scenarios. And it would be financially profitable for Microsoft to engage in total foreclosure strategy. So Microsoft continues to assure the regulators that they would ship Call of Duty on PlayStation consoles as long as they exist.
Yeah, I think they will. I'd be interested to see what happens, because Microsoft will go forward, I presume, and say we'll put guarantees in place that they won't be limiting this. They will be, doing this technology, and with those in place, whether or not they will then, change their mind on this situation. So, I guess.
Nanny, got any inputs on this? How do you feel about the merger as such? Still, it's a long drawn out process, I guess. Average.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know too much about it. I haven't really been following that side of things.
Yeah,
pretty much if it doesn't give me a nosebleed, I don't tend to follow it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think in that report also it did have down that it was also financially stupid if Microsoft was to put Call of Duty into Game Pass as well. It was also in that 426 pages or something like that. It was. Which I guess when you're looking at and we'll come up on this one soon, Redfall.
Yeah.
Game Pass is how much money they can pull from Game Pass to put back into development of a AAA game. Does it bite it in the ass in terms of what they end up delivering? You know, could we see a future of Microsoft buying Call of Duty and then not having the money to back it up because they throw it into Game Pass and they miss out on those day one sales and the premium bundles and the rest of it, to the point that they can't give us the Call of Duty that everyone's expecting nowadays?
Yeah, I mean, people who play Call of Duty, they buy the whole game for the campaign at the beginning. And then some people will be like, okay, that's enough for me. But the people who do play the multiplayer online servers and stuff like that, they spend huge dollars on skins and all sorts of stuff like that, the battle pass and things. So I feel like they're making plenty of money no matter what, whether it's free on Game Pass or whatever. They're still going to make the big dollars on the cosmetics that they sell.
Yeah, I don't know too much about it, Dom.
Yeah, so I don't think this is a case that they're buying the, Call of Duty so they can suck it like some sort of vampiric husk and then leave it to wither away.
No.
Like Call of Duty and Activision.
I don't think that's their
massive...
plan with anything they do. No, that's just what they do.
It's a massively profitable franchise. It's about, if they do, I don't see them putting any of these products on Game Pass as day one. It would be immeasurably unprofitable. But later on down the line, putting them on Game Pass at a later date to make it attractive, absolutely.
Boost the player base.
Yeah, exactly. Having bonuses for, Activision. I say that all of a sudden they've now got access to this massive money generating brand, and they've got the capability to go into other franchises on top of this, so like Diablo themed Game Pass, and they can ship Game Pass with Activision products and so on. And they've also got access to a whole plethora of IPs that Activision currently own as well that aren't being developed. We've further development of StarCraft, exactly, further things with the Diablo universe, the Warcraft universe. So yeah, this I think is more than just buying a game and shoving it into.
Okay, so I mean they're trying to
Plus.
get the mobile side too. There's a big mobile side to buying Activision that they don't
exactly,
talk about
Candy Crush.
Candy Crush, yeah. There's some money there.
Yeah.
I mean, a slight sidestep. Did anyone hear about the woman that accidentally joined the Candy Crush tournament? Just the mum.
No.
So a mum was playing Candy Crush and didn't realize she entered in a tournament, and then it was a worldwide tournament. And last I heard, she was ranking number one in the region for US for a total prize of 250,000. She thought she was just playing extra levels in the game. And she's just killing this tournament. So, I mean, I should check back on it, but it just cracked me up that I could just imagine a mum sitting there in the morning just playing a little Candy Crush, not knowing what she's doing. And the next thing you know, the children are looking at her like, Mum, what are you doing? You're about to win a ton of money.
Yeah, Candy Crush mum ends up in the semi-final of the 200 tournament, but she didn't know she entered. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that made me giggle last week. This is just a short one, only because it just blew my mind the other week. But the Gran Turismo movie made no sense to me why you would ever make that movie. But once I watched the trailer, it is blowing my mind, and I can't wait to see it.
Yeah. So I got into Gran Turismo Sport when it first released. I was heavy into it. I was ranked 156 in the world in the beginning.
Yep.
So I was climbing the ladders and I was doing pretty good.
I never knew this about you. You underground racer.
Yeah, mate. And that's where I found out about the Gran Turismo Academy.
Yeah.
Where the top, say, 5-10 racers in the world were taken into the academy, and they were put into some GTRs, some Nissan GTR Skylines, and they pretty much gave them the car, said, there's the track, show us what you got, and if you do good, we're going to put you into the professional leagues.
Yeah, they trained them.
Yep. So long as they showed promise, they trained them. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was spectacular, and that gave me drive to get as high as I did in the ranks of.
And it's still going. It's still going to this day. It's actually its own. It's actually got its own league in forms of racing. Like there's a international scene for it that follows it around, and teams inside the GT space. They're still graduating students and putting them into race cars. Like,
Yeah.
having a movie that's going to, as I said, I didn't realize how you could make a movie about Gran Turismo, but now that I know it's around GT and based on what GT Academy is all about, and it's got a good cast. You're David
really
Harbour, Orlando Bloom. Like, there's some good people in it.
It really is. And I feel like they're going to, like, just going off the trailer, I feel like they're going to portray what it means to these people to make it to that point.
I think it's also a good portrait to those that are not gamers about moving from the gaming space into that esports thing, because really Gran Turismo is an esport.
It
on
is.
itself.
It absolutely is. Like, if anyone that's played Gran Turismo has ever done the night and day races, so you'll race from
The endurances.
the endurances. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you. You race from like 7 a.m. in the morning till 7 a.m. the very next morning, and you are done. You are drained by the end of it. Like, you and the people who are co-driving with you.
Yeah.
It takes a massive toll on your physical and mental and emotional health.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does. But no, I look forward to that. That's later in the year. As I said, it was not a movie I was expecting to watch, but now I'm actually keen on seeing it. And I guess this is the dawn of, as I think I said a few weeks ago, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is now the video cinematic universe. We're going to start getting a plethora of things, I believe. Horizon Zero Dawn and God of War, both getting done by not HBO, Paramount and someone else. And Sony's making sure that they get the same touch up and treatment that The Last of Us got with HBO. So, you know, it's not the end. You know, what other, if they can do a movie out of this, I'm interested to know what else they can pull a movie out of.
Yeah, well, there's been talks of the Red Dead Redemption movie.
That's movie or TV series, I think that is.
One of the two.
Yeah, TV series, yeah.
I know Jack Black has been screaming to wanting to do it for ages.
Yeah.
No, I personally think I think Gran Turismo is going to flop harder than a fish out of the South Pacific. It is, I just feel out of all the gaming franchises that they have decided to ride on the back of, regardless of the cast, like, maybe it's just my taste, but I just think a driving film is like a snore fest.
I mean, I guess it'll target those people that like Ford versus Ferrari or Rush, for example. That category of people.
Well, the motorsport community is gigantic.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's gaming or motorsport in general, so watching Bathurst 1000 or something like that, for example, or NASCAR or anything like that, the gaming and real life motor racing community are going to just be like, I want to see this.
Really, end of the day. Sorry, keep going.
I was going to say, if the motorsport community was begging for motorsport games, why do we not see a plethora of motorsport films and series? There's a reason these things don't get put in production, is because they are synonymous with boredom. It takes a special type of individual to watch them.
I will say this is basically a 2-hour commercial for Gran Turismo.
Yes. Yep.
I'm not going to lie there. It's a 2-hour commercial.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
All right.
I mean, I watched a trailer.
Yeah.
Just last point. I mean, last time I played Gran Turismo, I didn't remember seeing Formula One cars blowing up and flipping across the raceway.
You haven't seen me drive them then.
Yeah, watch Police 10-0. Says none of those Kiwis know how to drive. Phil Spencer, he's very upset with himself over Redfall's terrible launch. So in this week, he had an interview with the Xbox podcast Xcast, and he confessed to being disappointed with some quality issues and the critical reception of Arcane's vampire shooter.
I could do a whole podcast on Redfall and the fuck ups and what the fuck is going on with that game. That game was poor. There is something more than just, oh, we didn't know that it was shit. Of course they fucking knew it was shit going out.
No,
They've pushed this game out for a reason, and it's going to be something to do with Starfall's release schedule or the fact that they're going to be throwing their fucking studio, which is in, oh God, I can't remember, Texas or wherever it is, in the bin because there's stuff we don't know.
What's it called? The Envision, the Incentive or something like that. Was that studio they built? They bailed. Half the team bailed. That was the team that was doing Perfect Dark.
So you had because you had Arcane, and then they split into two studios, and then the studio that built Prey is the one that built this. This was not an accident. There's got to be some sort of staff shortage behind it, and they've realised that it's never going to get better than it is. We just need to ship it because this is done it's done nothing but damage. And there are tons of fucking documented games that have got way bigger than this that have gone out and done really, really badly. We look at, for example, Cyberpunk. That these are smart people behind this have gone, releasing a game in this state is a really bad idea, but no, they decided to dump it anyway. I think my theory is that they've got staff shortages. There's no monetization model with this. They're probably going to be throwing the studio in the bin at some point, at least that one up there, and they need to put it out because those staff need to be put on some other project. There is no other reason that you would release a game that is literally late alpha, early beta level of quality. It wasn't it's if you were just being nitpicky. It was broken. It was a broken pile of garbage.
It was supposed to mark the end of a drought following Halo Infinite. It meant things to the Xbox community. This game, what it was meant to be for them.
God, end of a drought, and they've literally handed you a dehydration unit. It's just like it's so it's awful. It should never have happened. They should have delayed it. Game should have gone gold. Something like this, something as big as this, should have gone gold. And if they needed to say hey guys, we realise this is never going to happen. Look at fucking zombie sloppy killer, whatever it is, 2, 3, whatever. Just
Back for Blood.
Yeah, 10 years it was in development. 10 years, but at least we got a game that was it tongue in cheek and cringy. Dead
Island 2.
Yeah, Dead Island 2. But at least they got it out, and at least it was
working.
Playable. And exactly. We don't. I'm not going to go back. It's they're saying, "Oh yeah, we're updating it now and playing it." I'm not going to go back anytime soon to play this game. Were
you interested in this, Average?
I have watched a few people stream Redfall. I haven't played it myself. I can't seem to make enough room for it to try it myself. But
would it be a title that you're interested?
I mean, from what I've seen, from what I've heard, I'm kind of glad that I can't get it onto the PC and play it. But if it gets fixed, it has potential to be good once it's fixed and playable and actually works the way it should work. But at the moment, it's like trying to hold water in a kitchen sieve.
Yeah. I'm just having to read on his quote here. He's thinking back to the announcement of 60 FPS, and when they shipped without 60 FPS, that was a punch to the chin. He's disappointed, so kind of to pick myself up and can we learn how we can do better. I mean, that's just games 101 at the moment. No one's doing any better. It's the last year of releases have been horrible in terms of what's actually gets released in quality and execution. And how's he got here? I know a lot of people will say, hey, you've got teams that know how to do one-of-the-kind games, force them to do that. But we have a proven track record for not just believing in them, but allowing them to explore things like Rare with Sea of Thieves and teams like Obsidian with Grounded and Tango with Hi-Fi. everyone thought Hi-Fi was probably moving on to Evil Within 3. So yeah, they do have teams that have delivered games that are different. But I mean, I would say that's a bit of a stretch there saying Rare and Sea of Thieves, given the launch of Sea of Thieves 5 years ago. That was not a good launch either.
No, not at all. I mean,
and Obsidian with Grounded, that took 2 years to actually get the final release of that game. When they originally released, there wasn't much there either.
Yeah, but Sea of Thieves has redeemed themselves, and their developers have redeemed them heavily. So maybe that could be the potential for Redfall.
I think it'd be too little, too late. By the time they get to fix it, they'll have Starfield or whatever else they're going to have out, and Redfall will be forgotten and squashed, unless they do some major changes. So
yeah. And I think whatever they're going to release going forward from this is going to be met with some serious kind of. We can make people cautious. It's it's faith damaging.
Yeah.
A lot of people called it was going to be awful. Like, I'm hoping that they're finally now going to throw the proverbial stake through the heart of Redfall's Arcane's engine, which they've used for the last 15 years of Dishonored 1, 2, Prey. We've seen
it's time to go. Deathloop.
It is. Deathloop, yeah, it should. If this, ironically, Deathloop is a great analogy for Arcane's processes really at the moment. Our game's dead. Let's just make another one in the same style. Let's see if it works. But yeah, massively disappointing. Phil Spencer, yes, but I don't believe they've got testing groups.
They would have seen it coming. They would have seen the writing on the walls before they released this, and they still went with it.
Yeah.
But something that is going to be also heading out, I guess, is Fortnite is heading to the Olympics as an official esport. So Fortnite is now an official Olympic esport, as Epic's metaverse game will be a part of the inaugural Olympics Esports Week lineup. Taking place in Singapore, the 4-day festival of virtual sports and gaming created by the International Olympics Committee will see a dozen of players from the Fortnite Champions Series compete in a sharpshooting competitive backed by the International Shooting Sport Federation. So that's the part that kind of got me. This whole event will be held on the Fortnite Creative Island. That is created just for the event and will showcase the marksmanship of Fortnite's best players if you can make it to Singapore. This will be done on June 24th in Singapore. I mean, I'm just putting it out there. I don't necessarily look at marksman and Fortnite. There's, that's not the game for shooting. Like, just, if they were using Fortnite for, there's many, they're going to do a battle royale tournament or something like that. Completely understand that.
Yeah,
but a shooting genre game, Fortnite, I'm not seeing it.
No, neither. I mean, say you're using a heavy sniper or something on Fortnite, you can only shoot so far before the bullet pretty much de-renders and disappears. It's not even going to hit something. So what are they just going to see? Who can do a 360 no-scope the best? It sounds ridiculous. What are they doing?
I mean, there will be some other games at this event. Gran Turismo is going to be a racing game. They're going to have Just Dance, Z-Swift cycling, and web chess. There will also be some digital takes on archery, baseball, sailing, taekwondo, and tennis. I mean, you could probably take taekwondo out and put Mortal Kombat in there if you wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like this is a bit of a meme. Right? I feel like there was an Olympic event and Fortnite applied, or Epic applied for it, and they were like, well, we don't want to see people creating boxes at like 5,000 parsecs a second, right?
Yeah.
But what we go do, you can come along if you can showcase, the talented aim of these players, which call me long in the tooth here, but you say Fortnite is not known for its for its amazing sharpshooters. Like,
no.
I wouldn't think I look at other much mature esport games such as Counter-Strike Go,
Yeah.
Quake, Unreal Tournament. You know, the Instagive community are probably turning in their graves right now listening to this. It's like there are games that are synonymous with
shooting,
phenomenal aimers and tracking and different hand-eye. Like, why the fuck? If they want to see an aiming competition, why not look at the actual aiming community? You know, there's tons of live competitions that are held by Intel that do very much the same thing. There's
Aim Trainer. Just do it out of Aim Trainer for all you say.
Exactly. The Olympic engine. And the other thing, like the other piece about this is the Olympics isn't meant to be about professionals going in. It's meant to be like amateurs, you know, doing training in the evening and then going in and
they're working a full-time job and
not like
we're not going to get team phase or something.
Yeah, exactly. Fair play. It's going in the right direction. And like, you know, not to put the Fortnite players into a group, but like, are these the upstanding professional representatives we feel that should be, you know, the flagship of all esports going forward? It's like, and here we have Steve. Oh, he's teabagging his opponent and taking the goal. Excellent. Brilliant. There we go.
He missed the llama.
Yeah.
I feel like if anything coming out of Fortnite, it should be the building. Like, who can spin faster and build faster than anyone else? Yeah.
No one plays building anymore, do they?
That's me.
It's all zero build.
Yeah.
Just monsters play that one.
There you go. But yes, again, whether or not gaming belongs in the Olympics is here nor there. But I would love to. I think if any game was to get in there, I think it's CS should be.
CS.
I think it's
maybe it's a level of showing real guns. But then again, I don't know. Maybe it's got something to do with real guns.
Maybe
it's it's the only thing I think of cartoonishness.
I don't think anyone will care.
I don't think anyone cares.
What it'll boil down. I think it's probably just another excuse for Epic to make some Olympic-based skins and sell them on the Epic Store.
Yeah.
So
special event that everyone will be able to join into the special scene and play the same map as the Olympians.
Exactly.
Something else people can do in real life. Sea of Thieves is giving away a real gold skull for its greatest treasure hunt ever. The first Sea of Thieves mystery tasked players with finding and deciphering clues in and out of the game over the course of 4 months, but all rewards were strictly in-game. With the game's second mystery, titled The Hoarder's Hunt, eagle-eyed pirates will have a chance to earn some real loot. So the top prize is a beautiful gold hoarder skull, and it will also come with 4 golden keys, which you can give to your crewmates. I don't know how that would work out for crewmates. You know, if a couple of crewmates only getting keys and someone gets a skull, but that's either there or there. 10 runner-ups will get exclusive silver keys, and then 100 third place people will get Reaper's Mark medallions, while everyone else will get in-game titles, trinkets, and gold as usual. Each stage will consist of an ARG clue hunt in the real world and in-game voyage. The final stage will be a race to the finish line to see who can get their grubby hands on an in-game key first.
Mm-hmm. So the developers said in what was, I'll call it the trailer video for the Hoarder's Hunt, said that it could be a clue that's as small as a pixel in a picture that's completely unrelated. So it's
Easter
really
egg hunting.
You're essentially Easter egg hunting outside of the game. So when they're putting these clues out there, it could be, as I just said, a tiny little pixel in a picture. It could be a sentence. It could be a word. It could be a picture of a location. It could be any number of things. They said that they worked with some of the greatest puzzle makers in the UK.
I'm hoping EA. Sadly enough, it sounds weird me saying EA, but Dom, do you know EA's history or DICE's history when it comes to AR, like in-game clues and in real life clues, like what they've done with in terms of Battlefield over the years? Have you ever seen them?
I know about the fabled Megalodon, which they hid in Battlefield 3. But aside that,
they've had some elaborate ones that are taking communities to out in the real world in finding letters over the cross of the place across the globe, adding those letters in together, deciphering codes from that, going to websites that link into other websites, and shoot a pot plant that's sitting on a slight angle on this. They've had some convoluted egg hunts, I guess, in that game.
Yeah, this is set to be pretty huge for Rare and Sea of Thieves. It's the first time they've apparently done anything like this to this level. So it's going to be really interesting to see how it reacts to the game and the community.
Well, I said it's inspired by real-world treasure hunts and pop culture classics such as Ready Player One.
Yeah, yep. They did mention that in the trailer, if you will. So it was really interesting to hear what they're planning on doing and the things that they've implemented to make it far from easy.
As a Sea of Thieves creator, how do you feel about it? Like, something you guys are going to be looking out for?
It's definitely something me and my two crewmates are going to be actively taking part in. I've got an alarm set on my phone for 3 a.m. on the 12th of May, and I'm going to be getting into it. Not 12th of May. Is it 12th of May? Yeah, it is the 12th of May. I think so.
Yep.
But yeah, either which way, I'm going to be up at 3 a.m. checking out the first clue.
Fair enough.
Yes, it's good to see they're finally forcing people to step outside.
Touch the grass or touch the water, as it were. See if it's time to get away, players.
What's green and ground level?
Fuck them out. Yeah. I'm allergic to that stuff. Getting else a little bit creative. Fall Guys. Fall Guys was letting players create their own levels, and it's launching this May. Known as Season 4 Creative Construction, the up-and-coming update will feature Fall Guys Creative, which serves as a level editor, allowing users to build custom rounds with obstacles and share them with other players. So it's due out on May 10th.
I mean, so this has been a long time in coming. I thought it was going to happen when Epic bought them up.
Yeah.
This game needs churn to survive. To be honest, I haven't checked Fall Guys out since the initial
Season 1
release of it. It was fun, but I feel like it's had its time, and I think this is a step in the right direction for it to get people making fun and making their own levels. I expect one of the feedbacks as well is that there isn't enough to do. The question is though how this gets incorporated into the rest of the the seasons and how people play it and what they get off the back of it. And
Season 4 will include a curated playlist and a new show with over 50 rounds to come to Fall Guys Season 4, 20 available right away via solos. So it sounds like you'll also be able to generate a share code and share those stages that you create with friends and community. So it kind of sounds a little bit like a Mario Maker, make your level share, that type of thing. This is, you could say that it's a lazy way for the developers to create content, but at the same time, I think this is probably what the game needs to jumpstart something. If anything's going to put the player base back in, this is probably it. Yeah,
so funny enough, Fall Guys suffers from the same problem that the deathmatch community has, right? Which is that when it first came out, everyone was on the same level. It was random chaos, and winning it was you pretty much stood a good chance. Is that same as everyone else? The obstacles that really would upset the win of it.
Yeah.
Problem is now it's like people are speed running these things and becoming really good. And if you can, if you put the investment into it, you can win pretty much every game that you play. Yes. Which for Billy No Mates, or just like my mum who wants to jump on and just play stuff, they're never going to stand a chance of winning. And that's and as the community gets smaller, you're only left with those who really play it all the time, and that's not fun. And that's the casual element goes, and then it's like, well, why would you want to play then? So yeah, They've probably realised this, and they're probably going to put in methods to kind of whether or not it's like team-based wins. I think would be a fantastic option for them. But yeah, like how much room is there for colourful beans in this current market? Like I didn't. As soon as Redfall sucked, I didn't go. Oh, I know. I'm going to play some Fall Guys and have some fun.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played Fall Guys in ages. Personally, I just dropped out for no reason.
They do a lot of crossover stuff, and I feel that Epic do a lot of crossover stuff. And I'm like, you got Fortnite crossover. I don't really care about Fall Guys crossover. I don't know. Maybe I need to revisit again or something. But it just seems that initial magic draw that it had, I just don't have anymore.
Yeah, the community draw that it had.
Yeah, and I think because I think it was a massive scale of it because it was 100-player games, wasn't it? Like 100 people running together.
Yeah, it was. It was really cool. Yeah. It was fun. Like I had a heap of fun with Average at first. Both getting in the same game of solos and yelling at each other as we were playing. Like
trying to yeet each other off the
side of the map. Let's screw everyone. There's 100 people here, but I'm really against one. It created great moments like that. We'll see. I mean, with this also comes its new feature, the Fame Pass, which replaces the standard pass system, standard season pass that they had before. The Fame Pass is basically a lot less, but rewards you for playtime instead of the original Game Pass. So they're basically popping out lots of mini Game Passes, cheaper Game Passes, smaller ones that you can essentially earn more if you play more. See how that goes, I guess. I mean, I'm neither here or there.
Depends. Yeah, it really is. I mean, it depends what you're getting with it. If is it worth the money they're charging? There's a lot of different reasons that go into a Game Pass of any size that people get it for. So it'll be interesting to see what they actually provide with that.
Yeah. I mean, if it boosts, if it brings anything back into the life of this game and allows them to move forward, then that's great. But we will see. We will see, basically.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. All right. I think we should just round this up a bit. Anything you guys want to talk about? Anything you missed? Feel like something we could talk needs to be added?
No. Redfall is the only red flag this week that I was just so fucked off with it. I booked a day off to play that giant steaming pile of garbage. The first one in months and months. Yeah. And so Diablo, listen here. I'm not booking a day off you. In fact, I'm probably not even going to buy the game. Yeah, you go, and you better be good then, because I'm not expecting anything. It's just shit. But it's my birthday tomorrow, so
happy birthday for tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Hope you have a good day. Average, anything you want to add?
Well, I just would like to touch on what Chunky Unicorn just said in your chat, and that all I want to say about that is Fortnite's better than COD.
That's true. In terms of toxicity, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll agree with that one.
COD's not in a great place at the moment. I'm an avid Call of Duty fan. I play all of them. I love them, but they're what they've done with this one. There seems to be I don't know, something got disconnected along the lines of like the game pacing. I like the fact it's slower, but the games are so empty. The maps are too big, and there's not enough people in them. They are constantly. But the number one reason why I stopped playing COD is they keep changing the playlist. This whole balancing around different game modes. It's like, I am an adult. I bought this game to play a mode that I enjoy. Stop fucking taking it away.
Do you feel like Warzone killed COD a bit, like the player base, like divided the player base?
I think so.
How do you mean?
Divided the player base, so those that would normally play the standalone, the paid version, the team deathmatch, domination, all
No,
those.
I just
Do you
think
feel like the player base has gotten smaller because everyone's playing,
I
Respawn Island or whatever the fuck it's called nowadays?
No, I think they have no one's playing the game because they're not giving people what they want, and at the end of they're also
We want
like,
weed skins on our guns.
yeah, that I feel they need a shake up with their like also the whole skin system as well. I absolutely love skins. I will buy skins all day long. Fortnite, I go and buy skins, right? But this, like, I can't transfer them between games. Like, I cannot buy one skin and put it in another one.
That's
like,
the Nintendo moment.
Drives me mad.
Remember Nintendo used to do that every time they bring out a new console. It's like, oh, you want to play the virtual arcade games? Buy them all again.
Yeah. It's just, it sucks, and I really hope they change it because it's not great. But they are doing. I think they've realised this because there's the new Call of Duty coming out this year. There's also rumours that there's Call of Duty Future Warfare is coming out again. So I'm hoping that again they learn some lessons. They give people what they want. Mad Chaotic. It's an arcade shooter. I feel I want to be playing the Time Crisis version of an FPS, not like slug shooter.
Yeah. I get you. It's not what it should be.
No.
Call of Duty is just, as he just said, it's not what it should be. It's not what it was. And every time there's a problem, they just give you skins. They don't fix the problem. They're just like, here, forget about it for a moment. Take this. Go play with that instead while we try and pretend that we're fixing the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, like whether he's actually one of the development team or not, I don't know. But the TikToker, big, I can't remember his name.
The Tap Man. No. He's not a TikToker. He's a YouTuber.
Yeah, but he's always on TikTok talking about the mistakes they make and how they just don't care about the players. They've got all these problems, but they don't do anything about it. Instead, they're just like, here, take a skin. Here, take a new gun. Here, take a new map that's even got more bugs. Like, they just don't give a shit anymore. They're just about the money. That's all it is to them, a money grab.
I think the game needs to completely relaunch itself. Like rebuild itself, get rid of the engine. It's played with cheaters. You can't fix that cheating situation that they've got. The only way to do it is to completely rework it from ground up.
Mm-hmm.
They're still rolling off Quake 3 engine, ID3. That's the skeleton of it. Is still Quake 3. It's just that it's been manipulated over all these years. So,
and lately it's been a charm. That's just goes to prove my point more. Like, here, have this. Go play with that for a minute. Take this sparkly item. Let it distract you for 5 minutes from the bigger issue. And all the maps, I've noticed that all the maps will be older maps that have been chopped up into pieces and then stuck back together into a random pattern. So it doesn't quite look the same, but it is the same at the same time.
I normally play Call of Duty like a year after it's come out. That's my problem. And I never play it at the hype, I guess.
No. It's a game that's just fallen off the face of the planet for me.
That sucks. That's sad. That's a sad place then to be for Call of Duty. Do we have a Call of Duty this year, don't we? Well, of course we do. It's another year with a different digit.
Yeah.
They were going to keep that bigger break, and then they shouldn't though. I think if from the opinions that I get, especially like the likes of you, Dom, the guys that say that this Call of Duty had the grounds to be great, it seems like they were quickly easy to go stuff it. We'll just make a new one instead of fixing it and building on this.
Yeah. Well, there was meant to be. So it was originally a DLC, and then it turned out that the DLC was so huge they decided to make it a newer Modern Warfare, basically.
Oh, okay. That's it. All right. Well, maybe. I guess
so Modern Warfare 2.5.
Yeah, we'll start hearing more and more about this come June. Normally, summer Games Fest is probably when we'll hear something from Activision. No doubt around then they normally have a little bit of a tease. Oh, May or June, one of the two. There's usually a tease for the next Call of Duty around then, and then we have to wait till August for the next bit. So we'll have to wait and see. So, all right, gentlemen. Thank you for tonight. Thank you for being on again, as always.
Pleasure. Always a pleasure.
I think we will end it there.
Oh.
All right. Peace.
Later.